Hello, students. Today we are going to read a very emotional, sensitive, and thought provoking account of homeless children. And the name of the chapter is Children at Work. So, the chapter Children at Work is taken from a book, and the name of the book is Trash on Rag Picker Children and Recycling. And the book is written by Geeta Wolf, Anushka Ravishankar, and Orijit Sen. Let us know about the authors. Geeta Wolf, her children's book have won major international awards. And Anushka Ravishankar, she is also a children's writer based in Delhi. She has written over 20 books for children. And the third one, Orijit Sen, an Indian graphic artist and designer. So, this chapter is taken from that book, which is written by three authors. This book is an insightful and sensitive body of work because the stories that are there in that book, the stories are about children who do not have homes, about rag pickers, and the book explores a range of issues. So many issues are there that the book arise from child labor, child rights to waste and recycling. The book also makes us introspect. Book makes us think about how we do away with waste, what we do with waste, and what happens with it, and what happens with waste. And if we talk about the chapter having the same theme, child labor, the chapter explores issues of child labor. It talks about child labor, rag picking, and poverty. It also it also focuses Velu. The chapter focuses Velu. Velu is main character here in this chapter, who runs away from his family in the country to Chennai. So he belongs to a village, and he left his village and he came to Chennai, and he finds work as a rag picker because when he left his village, he came to this big city. He did not have any work, and he had to take up whatever job he could get or whatever work he could get, and the work he got was of rag picking. The chapter has other character as well. It is Jaya. Jaya, whom Valu meets for the first time there in Chennai. So, this is the account of Valu, and we will read the chapter now. Children at work. Before you read, there are many reasons why children have to work. So many reasons are there for child labor. Some help their family, and some children who work from a very early stage or from a very early age, they are made to work because they were to earn money for the whole. So some children are that help their family make livelihood. Others who run away from unhappy homes. Other children are there who are forced to work as child laborer, who run away from unhappy homes. They run away from their homes for so many reasons. Need to support themselves, and in order to keep their body and soul together, they had to work. They are to support themselves. Children who have to work cannot go to school and play like other children of their age. So, children who do not have homes because they have left their houses, or the children who are forced to work at early age, so they could not enjoy that life that a normal child should enjoy. Now, part first of this chapter, it is about Velu. He is an 11-year-old boy. He runs away from home. He wanders around for hours, wanders around, he moves around. for hours before getting on a train to Chennai without a ticket. He does not have a ticket because he has run away from his house, and he just come to the railway station and he wanders here and there. He does not have ticket. He was tired and hungry. He does not know where to go when a stranger at the station shouts a word of welcome. So these things we will read. We'll read about Velu, who comes to Chennai station and he wanders here and there, he moves here and there, he does not know anyone here in this city, and ultimately one welcome word he hears. So we will read the chapter. When the Kanyakumari Express pulled in, arrived at Chennai Central Station, name of the station Chennai Central. It took Velu some time to get off. It took him some time to get down the train because he was new here, he was nervous, he did not know anyone here. That's why he got off the train hesitantly. It took some time to him to get off the train. When he finally stood on the platform and then he got off the train and he was there standing on the platform, his legs felt wobbly, shaking, unsteady. His legs were trembling. Why his legs were trembling? Because he was nervous. He did not know anyone here, as if he was still on moving train. His legs were wobbling as if he was on moving train. Oi, out of the way. A porter went by with a loaded trolley. Jumped aside. And Valu was looking here and there, and suddenly he heard the sound of a porter who was making him aside. He had got a loaded trolley. He sat on a bench on the platform, putting his small bundle down. He had got a bundle in which he had got some things, and he put it down and sat there on a bench of the platform. In all his 11 years, Velu was 11-year-old boy. In all his 11 years, he had never seen so many people except once a year at the fair in the village, because he would live in a village, so he did not see so many people as he was seeing there at that time at that station. People walked by. People was walking past him, bumping into him, striking to him with their suitcases. A voice announced, and a voice or someone announced something on loudspeaker. He could hear the sound of loudspeaker also at that platform. Near him, a group of people sat on their luggage. Some people put their luggage there on the table, looking at a TV hanging from the roof. They were looking at the TV there hanging from the roof. The noise was terrible, and the noise of the TV and noise of all people and every type of noise, it was really terrible for Velu, because Velu was not habitual to such sound. Velu put his head down on his knees because he was really sad now. He was feeling lonely here, feeling miserable, very poor. He was feeling miserable and exhausted. He was feeling very tired. He had run away from his village 2 days ago. 2 days had gone since he left his village. For 2 days he had eaten nothing but some peanuts and a piece of jaggery. So he did not eat anything except some peanuts and a piece of jaggery there. That's why he was hungry as well. In his bundle, he carried a shirt, a towel, and a comb. So this is the luggage that he had. He had walked for most of the first day to Kannur and then got on the train to Chennai. So, how did he get to Chennai? Or on the first day when he left his house. So, he walked on foot and then he reached the station and took the train to Chennai. Velu had no money for a ticket, but luckily the ticket collector did not come to the unreserved compartment. So he sat there in unreserved compartment, and he was lucky that day that the ticket collector did not go there and did not check his ticket. He had tried to sleep on the floor near the door. A group of men played cards and shouted all night. So he had tried to sleep on the floor near the door of the train. He tried to sleep, but he could not sleep because a group of men next to him had played cards and they were shouting all night. So Velu could not sleep. And the other reason was also there because Velu was alone. It was a great step that he had taken to leave the house. I, what? New to town, eh? Called out a rough voice. Now he heard a voice. That voice was really rough, but the voice was saying him something. The voice was asking if Velu was new there to town. Velu opened his eyes. There were a lot of people standing around, but nobody was looking at him. He opened his eyes and he looked around, but he could not find anyone who was looking at him. He did not know who was talking to him. Here, hey! Again, he heard the sound. He turned around to the sound or to the direction of the sound. Behind him was a girl around his own age. So, behind him, he could see a girl about the same age as he was, wearing a long banyan that came down to her knees, and the girl was wearing a long banyan that was reaching to her knees. Her hair was stiff, hard. Her hair was hard and brownish, and she had a huge sack. She was having a sack on one shoulder. Oh, that was the sack, hanging the sack there on one shoulder. She was picking up dirty plastic cups, and she was one of the rag pickers of city from the floor and stiffing them. What she was doing, she was picking up plastic cups, plastic bottles from the floor and stuffing them. And she was stuffing those bottles into the sack that was hanging onto his shoulder. Why is she calling me? Thought Valu. Valu thought why that girl was calling him, and why is a girl wearing a banyan, because he had not seen any girl wearing such type of apparel. No need to stare stupidly. What's your name? Because Valu was staring at her. That's why the girl said in the same rough voice that he need not look at her in that foolish manner. Stupidly, in that foolish manner, she asked her name. Valu muttered, grumbled, spoke in a low tone. Valu looking away. So, Mr. Valu, said the girl, looking at his bundle, run away from home, and she recognized. She knew that he had run away from home. Valu didn't answer. He did not want to tell some strange girl what he had done. So, why he did not answer? Because he did not want to reveal the secret to that girl because she was a stranger to him. He had run away because he couldn't stand his father beating him for one more day. His father would snatch away all the money Velu and his sisters earned and spent it on drink. So this is the reason that is given here why Velu left his house. He left his home because of his father who would beat him, and he would also snatch the money that Velu would earn. That's why he could not bear that beating. He could not bear the behavior of his father, and he ran away. Don't think I don't know. This place is full of children like you. So, what are you going to do here? Become rich? So, the girl said that there are so many children who had run away from homes, and they are working here. And she asked what Valu was going to do there in that city. She sat down next to him. Valu shifted away slightly because she was a stranger, and Valu did not know her, and and he also did not want to have communication with her. He felt hunger pinching him and pressed his stomach with a grimace. Grimace, he was giving the expression from his face. Grimace means to give expression of pain. So he was giving expression of pain because he was feeling very hungry, and hunger was pinching him. He was very hungry. Hunger was pinching him. It means he was very hungry and he was pressing his stomach. Hungry? The girl asked him. Asked the girl. You won't get food by sitting here glumly. And if he would sit here gloomily, if he would sit here sadly, no one is going to give him food. And that was a practical thing the girl told him, making faces. He said that there was no use of making faces, there was no use of feeling sad and sit here without doing anything because no one is going to give him anything. I can find some if you want. And the girl was ready to help Velu. She asked him if he wanted help, she could help him or she could give him something to eat. She picked up her sack and started to walk away. Velu stayed on the bench. Velu did not move. He stayed there on the bench. What should we do? And maybe he thought to himself what he could do there. He was stranger here. No one was there to talk to him. No where he was to go in that city. Should he follow this girl? So this question came into his mind whether he should follow that girl. Where was she going to take him? And if he followed that girl, where that girl would lead him, would take him. She was disappearing into the crowd. So he had to make up his mind. Make up his mind, he had to decide because she was moving away and there was no much time. He had to decide whether he was to accompany that girl or not. Quickly, all right, he decided, and he came to a conclusion. Anyway, I have no idea where to go because he did not have any place to go. That's why he didn't have any idea where he should go. He jumped up and ran after her. She wasn't even looking back to see where he was. She did not look back at Valu as well. She was doing her own work. He caught up with the girl. He caught up with the girl. He reached to the girl as she was leaving the station. When she was leaving the station and before she left the station, he just caught up with her. When they got to the road, Velu found that the vehicles kept coming and never stopped for anyone because Velu was new there in that city, in such a big city, so he did not know how the vehicle would act here or how the vehicle would move. Smoke and dust flew at him from all sides, making his head spin. His head was spinning because he did not experience such type of pollution, such type of vehicles, such type of sound there. That's why his head felt spinning. They had to wait for a long time before they could find a gap to run through, and both of them would stand there. They waited for some time to cross that road. Velu kept hesitating. He was hesitating to run and cross that road, and the girl finally dragged him, and the girl pulled him to the other side because the girl was habitual to that. She knew what was to do. What do you think you are doing? Grazing cows? If you stand around in the middle of the road like that, you'll be chutney. So, what do you think you are doing? The girl asked Velu that what he was doing there. He asked what he was doing there, standing in the middle of the road or hesitating in the middle of the road. Was he grazing cows? It was not an easy place to move. It was not a good place to move about or to stay there. He was not grazing cows. He was not in a village. If you stand around in the middle of the road like that, and if he would hesitate crossing the road, if he would stand in the middle of the road, then he is going to be crushed by the vehicles. Valu's heart was still beating fast because he was afraid, or he got frightened when he crossed that road. He looked back at the central station and the traffic speeding by. He looked back to the road that he crossed. He looked back to the station, to that road, and to all those vehicles. How had they managed to come through that? And then he thought, how could they manage run that to run those vehicles so fast in that crowd? They walked along the side of the road. So both of them, Valu and that girl, both of them walked along the side of the road under some huge signboards. There were some huge signboards also, hoardings were also, and they were walking under those hoardings. Valu looked up at the pictures: banyans, car tires, pens, a woman holding a box. So these are the hoardings, or these are the pictures that were on the hoardings. The writing was all in English because he was not literate, so he did not know what was written on those hoardings, but he could see the pictures. The girl turned onto a wide bridge and walked up. So the girl moved towards a wide bridge and he walked up the bridge. Velu stopped. He stopped for a time because he was hesitant and peeped over the railing. He peeped over the railing of that bridge. Under him, the road ran into the city, and he was looking at that road that was running towards the city. In the distance, he could see huge buildings, and far from him, he could see huge buildings and towers and more roads. So he was enjoying there the scenes. See, See that big building with a wall around it? If you are not careful, you'll soon be counting bars there. The girl grinned and pointed at a huge building. Now, the girl wanted to show Value a building. So she said him to look at a building if you are not careful. Or she said that if he is not careful in this city, if he is not going to walk according to the rules, then you will soon be counting bars there. Soon be counting bars there. He will be sent to jail. He will be behind bars. The girl grinned, laughed. The girl laughed and pointed at a huge building, and she pointed at a huge building and said that if he is not going to behave well, he will be behind bars. He will be sent into jail. Well, we squinted and read the Tamil sign, Central Jail. So Valu squinted. He just looked at that building and read the Tamil sign, Central Jail. It was Central Jail that she was indicating to him. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. Valu said that no one is going to send him into jail because he had not done anything wrong. You don't have to do anything. Just don't get caught. That's right. What she said, that he was to do only one thing, and the thing is not to get caught, because it doesn't matter whether he had done anything or not. If he is caught, he will be sent to jail. What does she mean? What does she mean? He did not know. Velu wondered. He was surprised. He was thinking what she was saying and why. Meanwhile, the girl was already heading down the bridge. Now she was getting down the bridge with the sack on her shoulder. what was in it. And now he was thinking, what was there in that sack she was having, or she was hanging onto his shoulder. He had seen her putting plastic cups into it at the station. At the station, she placed some plastic cups into that sack. So he saw her doing that. What are you carrying in that bag? And he had the courage and he asked that girl that what was there in the bag. Things, bottles, paper. She said. Valu wondered what she was doing with them because he did not know what profession or what work she would do. It was still morning, but the sun blasted down on the tar, and Velu's bare feet burned because of the material that the road was made. It was a sticky and black substance. It is called tar. So it got heated, and his bare feet was burning at that time. It was not like walking on the mud road, because in the village he would walk on the mud road and he would not feel that heat of the sun. He was soaked with sweat. He was sweating because of heat. Soaked means totally wet. He was wet with his sweat. He tried hard to walk in the shade. He tried to walk in the shade and keep up with the girl and continue to remain aside the girl or beside the girl at the same time. So he tried to escape, or he tried to save himself from the heat of the sun. He tried to move into the shade, and at the same time, he wanted to go with the girl as well. He wanted to accompany the girl as well. She walked really fast. She was walking fast. How far away was the food? And Valu was thinking only for food because he had been hungry for 2 days. After almost an hour of walking, so they walked almost for an hour. They stopped in front of a big building, and the girl took him in front of a big building. Sri Raja Rajeshwari Prasanna Kalyan Mandapam. Read Velu slowly. A sign with the letters made of flowers said groom, and some letters were there written there, and the letters were groom, J.V. Vinyagan. Bride. And who was the bride? It means she had taken him in front of a marriage palace, and the name of the girl was Rani. Valu stared. He looked at the big cars parked outside. Outside that marriage palace, there were so many cars, and Velu was staring, looking at those cars. One of the cars had a flower garland and roses taped onto it. So it was the car in bride and bridegroom would move. The girl looked around, pulled one off quickly, and stuck it in her hair. So the girl looked around if no one was watching or noticing her, and what she did, she she snatched one off quickly, one flower that was stuck to the car. So she took one flower off from that car and stuck it to her hair. Come on, she said. And she told him to go with her. Are we going to eat here? Asked Valu. Valu asked if they could eat something here, or if they could get something to eat there. Asked Valu, looking at the huge hall and the people inside. When Valu looked at the hall and all those people inside, he was hesitant and asked her if they were going to eat there. Hops. Hops. The girl said that they could only hope for that. Said the girl, shaking her thumb under the nose. She shook her thumb under the nose and said, Hops. She led him behind the hole, and then they moved behind the hole. There was a big garbage bin overflowing with rubbish. And what was there behind that hole? A garbage bin was there, and it was full of rubbish, wastage, rubbish, litter. Two goats were standing on the pile, and there was a pile of garbage there, and two goats were also standing on that pile fighting for a banana leaf. There was a banana leaf, and both those goats were fighting to eat the banana leaf. A cloud of flies buzzed, so many flies were also buzzing there around their legs. There was a rotten smell in the air, and in the air there was a smell that was not a good and fresh smell. It was the smell of rotten things. The girl picked up a squashy banana. Squashy, crushed. So the girl picked up a squashy or a crushed banana and held it out to Velu, and she offered that banana to Velu as your food. Velu was shocked. Velu was shocked that she had picked that banana from that garbage, and now she is offering that banana to him. And Velu was not in the habit of doing so, in the habit of eating such things. Are we going to eat their leftovers? So Velu was surprised. He was unwilling to eat it because uh, these things were leftovers. Leftovers were left after being eaten. Velu was surprised if they could eat those things that were left by those people in the marriage hall. Chi, what do you think I am? Velu did not like that idea, and he said, or he exclaimed in disgust that who he was, that he was not such a person. Was he a dog that is going to eat on that garbage heap? I only take untouched food. Valu said that he only eat untouched food. He does not like to eat leftovers. Here's some more. Catch. She threw him a vada, and she did not listen to him because she was very busy to look for some eatable. And she got one, and it was vada, and she offered that vada to him as well. Valu looked at it with distaste. He did not want to eat it because the same thing is there, it was left over. Come on, hero, ate it. But the girl said that don't act like a hero, you should eat it. You think I like it? And the girl asked if he thought that the girl would like eating such thing, but they had to eat those things in order to live there. I told you I'll find you something to eat. The girl told him earlier that she would find something to eat for Velu. Don't think I have money to buy food for you. Yet the girl did not say Velu that she would buy something to him. She told that she would find something to eat. You'd better eat what you get until you have your own money. What the girl told that boy, the girl told Velu that until he gets something to eat, or until he gets some money to buy something to eat, he had to manage to eat those things, or he had to live by eating those things. Valu hesitated. He hesitated because he was not in the habit of eating those things, but his stomach squeezed him again. But there was pain in his stomach. His stomach was showing pain. He was very hungry. He gulped down the banana and vada without taking any taste of banana and vada. He just gulped them down. His stomach felt better immediately. Immediately he was feeling better because something was there in his stomach. He could have eaten at least 10 times more. He could have eaten 10 times more but the girl could find only one more banana which she ate herself. That's why Valu had to manage with only one banana and one vada. It's too early. They have only eaten tiffin. If you are still hungry, you'll have to wait for them to finish lunch. You can wait if you want. I have to work. I am going. She picked up a couple of bottles from the heap and threw it into her sack. Then she walked off. But she said that if he was feeling hungry, because it was the time, or it was early time, it was not afternoon, and at afternoon they would eat something. They would open their tiffin. It's too early. It is too early. They have only eaten tiffin. So it was early in the morning, and early in the morning people only have snacks. Here tiffin means snacks, not proper meal. If you are still hungry, and if he was feeling hungry, you will have to wait for them to finish lunch. Then he had to wait for those people to finish lunch, or until the time of lunch. You can wait if you want. I have to work, and the girl had to go from there. She could not wait until afternoon. She picked up a couple of bottles. She picked up some bottles and put them into her sack and went away. Valu panicked. Valu panicked. He was really afraid. He was very worried. He realized, he knew, or he felt that if the girl left him, because he did not know anyone there in that city, and if the girl left him, he had no idea where he was. So he was alone there, and what he would do. It was better to stick to her. It was better to stay with that girl, or to walk with that girl. She seemed to know her way around. It seemed that she knew where she was going. He ran after her again. He just stuck to her again. He called. He did not even know the girl's name. What is your name? He asked, hurrying behind her. He was running behind her, and he asked her name. She stopped and turned around. Oh ho, so you have been following me around without even knowing my name, Jaya. And then she told her name. Her name was Jaya, and she told her that he was just following her without knowing her name. So it was Jaya. I'm not following you. He said that he was not following that girl. What then? Who got you food? What then? Then what did you do? The girl asked what he had done if he had not followed that girl. Who got you food? Because the girl had got him food, and he got food just by following that girl. Can I come with you? Where are you going? And then Valu told his idea to go with her. Come if you want. This bag is full. I have to go home to get another one. And then the girl, uh, she got ready to take him with her. Jaya and Valu walked along the road. Both of them were walking along the road for half an hour until they came to a bridge, and then they came to a bridge across the dirty trickle of water. There was a dirty trickle of water, or water was trickling from there, and they crossed that water. We are in Triplicane now. See, that's Buckingham Canal, said Jaya. And what Jaya was doing, she was making, she was just joking, because she was giving some name to the place, or to the area that she was living. It was really very dirty area, and what she named that dirty area, it was Triplicane, and the place was named Buckingham Canal, or it was named Buckingham Canal. Valu stared. He stared. This was a canal, and he asked if it is called a canal. Near some puddles of water, a row of strangest huts he had ever seen. So near some puddles of water, there were some puddles of water. There were some places of water, and near those puddles of water was a row of strangest huts. Was a row of huts, and those huts were the most strange huts he had ever seen. They were built out of all sorts of things. Those huts were not built of wood or of uh, grass or of bricks, but whatever they had found, they used those things to make those huts. So, what those huts were made of? The huts were made of metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood, and plastics. So whatever they could find, they just used those things to make the huts. They stood crookedly, not straight. They were standing crooked. They were standing bending somehow, and looked as if they would fall any moment. And they looked as if they were going to fall. That's why they were bending somehow. While they were bending, it looked as if they would fall. Is this where you live? These houses are strange, said Velu. In our village, the houses are made of mud and palm leaves. So he was surprised to look at such houses, such huts, and he told that the houses in his village were made of mud and palm leaves. Jaya went around to one of the huts and dumped her sack outside. Then she picked up an empty one. Jaya went there in front of a hut. She just put her sack outside the hut, and then she picked up an empty one, an empty sack. Let's go. She turned to Velu and she gave him a show push. She pushed him, she turned to him and she pushed him. At least help me now. At least help me now, because now she is going to give him another sack so that he would do the same work as Jaya was doing. Here, wear these and come with me. She threw him a pair of old shoes. So what she gave him? What she gave him a pair of shoes without laces and pushed a sack and also gave a sack and a stick also into his hands. Velu was confused. He was confused. What work did she want him to do with these things? Because she told Velu to help him in her work. That's why he was surprised what work she is going to give him. The only work he had ever done, and what work he had done was on the landowner's farm, weeding, taking out weeds from the field, and taking cows out to graze. Only these things, only these works Velu would do in his landlord's farm, not in his own farm. Are there any farms in the city? He asked. He asked Jaya if there are any farms in the city. And why is he asking? Because he thought that he could have some work there. She laughed and thumped her stick onto the ground. She laughed at him and she put her stick onto the ground. Farms? There are no farmers here. No one is farmer here. We are rag pickers, and all of them were rag pickers. Rag pickers? See my sack. Look at my sack full of things I collected. Collected? From where? Asked Velu. Velu asked where she had collected all those things. From rubbish bins, from dust bins, from rubbish garbage bins. Where else? Okay, where else means from where she could find all those things. You collect rubbish. Velu had never heard of such a thing. That there is someone who can get something out of garbage heaps. A blockhead. Foolish. It's not any rubbish. This is not a rubbish. Only paper, plastic, glass are there. This cannot be called rubbish. And such things that she is going to collect. We sell it to Jam Bazaar Jaggu. Okay, and they would sell it to Jaggu in that Jam Bazaar. Valu was puzzled. He was really confused. He had heard of people throwing away rubbish because he had only heard that rubbish is something that is to be thrown away. But why would anyone want to buy rubbish? And he was surprised that rubbish is also bought by someone. That's why he was surprised. Who is Jambazar? Jaggu. Why is he buying all this? So Velu asked her, who is Jambazar Jaggu, and why is the person going to collect all those things, going to buy all those things? You think he buys it for show? And then the girl asked him if he thought that the person or Jaggu would buy the garbage or would buy those things just for show. He sells it to factory, and those things were sold to factory. Come on, I don't have time to waste like you. She was busy. She told him to accompany her. Velu did not move. He was not interested to do that work. He hadn't run away and come to this new place to dig through garbage bins. He had not come there. He had not left his village, left his home just to search something in garbage. Dig through, search something. Jaya poked at him with her stick. She hit him with her stake. Look here, she shouted. She shouted and she wanted to attract his attention. If someone gets there before us, we don't get anything. She wanted to get there as early as possible because if someone else goes there before them, so that person would collect all those things and they would be empty handed. Don't just stand there pausing. Don't stand there giving such pose, showing that posture. Big hero, I'm trying to help you. And she was trying to help him only. Who filled your stomach today? And she was the only girl who filled the stomach of that boy when he needed. Value scratched his head and sighed. He scratched his head because he was puzzled. He was puzzled what he was to do. And he sighed. I'll do it for now. He said that he will do the work or he will accompany her, he will follow her and do whatever she tells. He thought until I find a better job. He thought that he will do only that work until he finds a job for him. And if he finds a job, he will not do such a bad and such a dirty work as Jaya would do. So it was really very emotional story and also a thought provoking one. This is really a very moving account of those children who left their houses and they do not have anything to do and they were forced to do work, to do such work as rag picking, though they do not do it willingly, but they had to do to fill their stomach. So I hope you have understood the chapter well and you also have got the moral behind it that the child labor should abolish and we should have proper maintenance, we should have proper arrangement of the waste that we do. So thank you for watching it patiently. Bye till my next video.